Hello, welcome to Being Reintegrated. This is Tim Wright, and I'm so happy that we're able to keep doing these videos and keep producing these works. So, as you all may know, recently Khem Publishing has launched into a massive effort. I mean, at least for an independent publisher, it's a pretty big effort. We are producing 18th century Illuminism books that have been untranslated and unauthored, either due to the fact that people have not been able to get copyright or they don't care. I don't know. So those are being produced. And recently, we've made Kindle books available on the topic because Khem Publishing has been accused of profiteering on the Martinist and Martinist communities. So, dirt cheap Kindle publications that are massively amazing books that are available to you. Including the RedBook. And that's what this episode is about, essentially, is the RedBook. Now, we have had the privilege of an anonymous human translator to translate the RedBook. But it's not just any translation. We got it from the Atlantis Journal, and in its original French, it did include some introductory remarks by Robert Amadou, which have been omitted due to copyright, but the RedBook itself has been reproduced in an interlinear French version. Now, that in of itself is amazing. But in the brand new Studies in Illuminism, which you can go get on Kindle, and I don't know if we're going to keep making such voluminous things. I don't know. If you want it in print, I can make it in print. But if you're just looking for the information, it's available on Kindle. Anyway, so in that book, the book is mainly the old Secrets of Martinus de Pasquale, which was supposedly by Franz von Baader, but it's not. What it essentially is a few pages of an introduction by Baader, if it's by Baader at all, or Bader, and the rest of the book is a historical review of what the anonymous writer called Martinism. And what this really was not Papuzian Martinism. It was a historical review of Saint Martin as he was interacting with Willermo's, the strict observance, and it's essentially a history on Illuminism from the view of the Circle of Saint Martin and how Saint Martin interacted with these Masonic individuals. So if that's not amazing enough, it's on Kindle, and the author, who is anonymous, but we know now through Rigenberg that it is none other than René Philippon. Now, this is the editor and publisher of the first edition of the Treatise of Reintegration of Beings. So that is amazing in and of itself, which was never found, I guess, or looked over. And then there's something even better in the work. So I have also been researching a very long time. Me, I hate using that particular statement, but the individuality which is presenting itself through this, whatever. I mean, come on, let's just be real. I'll have to use the word I. If that offends you, whatever. So I've been researching this for a very long time. And, in one of the writings, I believe it's in the book that we recently did the introductory article on somnambulism, Echoes of Emotion. Go ahead and check it out there. That book contains an essay by Alice Jolie. And then there is another additional. No, no, no. I'm wrong. See, I admit I'm wrong. There is a study by, I think it's Antoine Favre. Anyway, the point is that it is a study on the teachings of Devon. There's a student of Martinez's that his work became completely decimated in a fire. And Amadou had interactions with whoever he could, and found out from his grandson that his grandfather, Devon, burned everything. So nothing exists of Devon's estate. However, Philippon says that there was an interaction between Saint Martin and Devon, and that Saint Martin received a little volume from Devon. So it is, I don't know if it's proven, but it's pretty closely proven that the Red Book is the manual and shorthand notes of Devon. This is amazing because Philippon says it. So I don't know if Rene Philippon is reliable. He did publish the Treatise of Reintegration of Beings, and everybody does reference that volume when they do their Treatise of Reintegration studies, including Gerard Guindet, who used it as his reference for pages. I prefer the Robert Amadou version, but even Amadou has a table in the back of his book for the Philippon pagination to his volume, which comes from Saint Martin. Anyway, short, descensus Christi into that topic. So yeah, I found out that the Red Book is potentially the notebook of not Saint Martin, who was really only in Elucoan for 5 years, is what Philippon says. Now, I'm like, wow, this has never been said before, that it was in that 5 years that Saint Martin had this amazing production of material that was Cohen, and then he left the scene pretty much to go study Boma. And then came back in the 1800 year, 1801, to do The Spirit of Things, which you can buy now at khempublishing.com. So now we have one website for all this material. So what I've been telling individuals is that the Red Book is pretty much a code book to the Elucoan. But what I didn't know is that it's potentially a notebook given to Saint Martin by Devon. So we have both the Lyons and the Solesme manuscripts that have been collected from Amadou and the Atlantis Journal, and those have been reproduced in an interlinear French version. I mean, the book is selling very well. So, I mean, very well, I don't know. I'm not profiteering. So, if it sells, great. That means it's been of value to people. I don't have a capitalistic goal. So, very well means it's selling. So, if you want to go pick up the book, go to khempublishing.com, grab it. I have a copy of the Red Book, so I'm not just a, promoter of books that I know nothing about. And I found in my studies of the Red Book that it contains some really good stuff. This new book, Divine Gatherings, that I'm working on is prompted by the Red Book. In number, I think it's 160. Nope. God, it's such a good book. I mean, it's just on and on and on. It's really pretty much my favorite Cohen book. The Red Book is so good. And we have that in Kindle and print versions. But I was using the Red Book, and essentially what it says is that the 4 and the 6 are two different things. Um, and that makes sense. If this comes from Devone, why it's so clear. It's really a good book. Um, I I'm shocked at how good this book is and how hidden it is from everybody's understanding. So it contains alchemical material in it. It contains code revelations of Samartan to the Cohen system, which, like I said, could be Devone. And it is really a great key to understanding any of the Cohen materials that were later put out by my bros, the late Paul Edward Rana, of the Lessons of Leon and the Catechisms of the Order of Cohen. Now, I'm pretty upset because I've been getting criticism. I love criticism, don't get me wrong, but I'm human. I don't like being told that I don't do a good job, especially when I'm trying my absolute best. I don't know. So I've been told that essentially the books are really lacking in editorial, typesetting, and other really essential details to bookmaking. So, I've taken that feedback seriously. And editors are now looking at the works to make sure that you're not wasting your money, which is reduced amount anyway from the going marketplace. You're not wasting your money on volumes that are not put together well. So I personally apologize if you received anything that's so difficult for you that it's impossible to read because the English is quite bad, or the punctuation, grammar, typesetting, any of those issues. Bring to my attention. You can go and reach out to me. I believe the email's going, but I'd like it to be verified before we get the email going. But come leave a message on Khem Publishing on Facebook. If you find a book or something that is just absolutely not to your liking, if you bring it to my attention, I'll replace it, refund you. If it's a finding, basically. And the feedback is so important. This is the thing. When you take feedback seriously, it's not just an individual doing whatever they want. It is a group that makes quality work. So thank you so much for that feedback. Even though it's a little uncomfortable sometimes, there is stuff going on in the background, but thank you so much for your feedback and participation in this effort. So without that, blah, 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 we now have a website, Khem Publishing, KHEM Publishing, one word.com. You can go to, and you can see not only the Kindle books, but you can see the publishing efforts, and it even has a link to the Cohen Codex and some of the videos. I have these videos that they're on YouTube. You can see a video on Khem Publishing done about a month ago or so, and you'll be able to see all the books. I'm really excited for these new volumes because we're getting into more and more nuance, which we're going to be instructing personally any priest that becomes part of the members in the Order des Cohens Ressuscités. And eventually, I've been told by the high-ups that you're not allowed to say this, so I'm saying it just to you, my Patreons, and anybody who happens to stumble across this. We've figured out the use of the ECECIA. With the Red Book, we figured out how to use the ECECIA. Now, your grab poobahs, I've heard, have said, we don't talk about this, we don't tell anybody, it's super secret, blah, 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 blah. But really, I got told by one of the main researchers of the a very initiatic order. We'll leave it that way. I'm not going to go throwing names out there because then it'll piss everybody off. But that the point is that the ECEC is dead. The order is dead. The material was never used. After a certain time, it became just a order to hold people in a special light of consideration, and nobody did the operations. So, since no one did that, I got access to the actual core French materials, have translated them through human translation. Not only that, but revivified that through the bishopsy material that you'll receive if invited to the episcopate in the Order des Coens Ressuscités. So, yeah, we're not Rocroi in the sense of, some amazing, big, grand, Christian Rosenkreuz. But what we do have is what I think is the 21st century equivalent. Actually, 22nd century equivalent. We're there, folks. The vault is opening back up. So we are able to offer a full program to any priest in the Order des Coens Ressuscités. Email at resurrectedcoens@gmail.com, and we'll get you ample consideration. Now I'm not the be all and end all. I don't care about being that. So what happens is you go through administration and due consideration. So even if you're one of my detractors, even if you don't like me personally, it's okay. This order and these teachings are for you too. So you will be considered. You're not left out. I'm not building an exclusionary thing that is not going to be available to anybody who has the true desire to go through the process. We read nothing but academic materials. It's a research group. There is theurgy, but you're not introduced to theurgy immediately like, hey, here's the invoking of demons, whatever that means. Do it for 100 days and then tell us what happens. That doesn't happen at all. That's not what we're doing. That isn't at all what we're doing. We're saying, here's an ordination. This ordination will empower you to go do a specific thing. So go do that specific thing, and then in your architecture that you're building as a priest in the order, go and build on this. This is where your order is shaped by you, and not one individual leading everybody, telling everybody how things gotta go. That is a difference here. It's not a top-down structure. It's a bottom-up structure. You build the Order des Coens Ressuscités. You make it go where it goes. And your priesthood is endowed to you to be a sovereign operator in this world of its many, many things. Anyway, thanks for the support of the video. Thanks for checking out another episode. And also, go check out the website, khempublishing.com.